Oh yeah, donuts. I like the little window sign that they've got. These buildings out and about have a lot of features that like you can't have for your business at all. And there's the pub with outdoor seating. There's the doors. Two of them, just in case. Maybe one is a staff door. I don't know. But they got these cool outdoor chairs that we don't have. That style of table we don't got. I mean, obviously this like, sidewalk flooring and stuff we don't have. This like little kind of sort of staircase thing we don't have. Like, what's up with that? When do we get that? I want to have a staircase up into our front door and then you just drop off a little cliff onto the floor. The city, though, very nice, very big. Many tall buildings. Wasn't as expensive as I thought it would be. Managed it pretty well, actually. But it's done. Building on the left. Second building on the left. And the main building. Whoa. With one wall that wasn't painted correctly. Oh no. Fix that in a moment. It's a bit of a gray brick, I admit. It's not the prettiest looking thing. It started to take a little bit too long to figure out how to do some stuff with it. I'm a little bit proud of this up here, which most people would be like, what's so special about that? But if you've played enough of this game, you might realize that this is kind of an impossible feature to have. But I've done it. If you've played the game long enough, then you already know how I've done it. But at least pretend to be impressed, okay, guys? Let's get some light in, because as per usual, I've moved at like midnight, so I just like, the default lighting is just terrible for it. This is us, though. I think I've got everything sorted. Everything done. Bathrooms, showers, offices for people, enough desks for people, staff assignments, room groups, assigning servers. I think all that's good and set. So we're pretty much ready to resume. But I'll give you a bit of a tour so you can see sort of what is what here. Obviously, we've got the entryway in. Nothing too terribly special there. Security cameras watching these front doors instead of like actually out front, because it's a bit too much to cover. But it covers the entire front area there, so it works out quite okay. The burglars can't really get in. They can steal the waiting chairs and leave, I guess, if they really want to. Fine. I'll take the L on that. That's all right. You can enter in through the right. A lot of people are going to be biking in because we've got the bike wreck situation. There are parking stalls around, but it's mostly for staff, deliveries, cooks, guests, the whole bit. Not really for employees. Not this building anyway. So they need a bit of a shower, and there they go. They've got that. With the kind of a fun carpeting type thing. It's literally just pieces of carpet that I've just patched together to create that. It works sort of well enough, I guess. It gave the room like another little extra environment boost and a little bit of mood boost. Kind of nice. I figure may as well get the mood boost going on when they like first arrive to work, you know? A bit of just like a sitting around kind of lounging area. I got these tucked around everywhere as per usual, as well as espresso machines tucked around everywhere. Since they're way too loud to be inside offices specifically, they're just kind of around in the hallways and the canteen area and just splashed around, dotted around. They'll figure it out. On the left, we got the server room. Very nice. It's already wire moded for the MMO and SCM servers. These are the big ones with 50 gigabit per second each. So 150 for the MMO, 100 for the SCM server. Another building has another server just like on standby. It's just one of the small ones though, just in case I need it. I don't really know what for. It's just kind of there. Fire escape up because while I have elevators, the elevators do not function while there is a fire. So you need to have a fire escape as well, which I've done. This is kind of going up the entire spine of the building. The elevators, I've got a bunch of the small ones because I got some people who have the trait that doesn't allow others to ride the elevator with them. That makes these bigger elevators, which are generally nice, capacity 40 on this big and it's 2x2. But if you got somebody with those trait going in, they're too stinky to ride the elevator with, so like, that's out. So small elevators are king. It's 10 capacity per, which is pretty much no problem. That's easy. Super easy, especially for, technically I don't even need elevators, but I wanted to have elevators. And sort of one of like the core design concepts I had with this was that you elevator up and there's like offices surrounding the elevator block and the canteen is surrounding the elevator block, and it didn't really work out that way. But that was kind of the original plan. I kept the elevators though, because I don't know why not. If you need to get to a coffee, it's a lot easier to do so. Stairs down into the basement. It's just the surveillance area, a little waiting area. It's nothing too special. A little storage room type thing. I'm not entirely sure what my ideas are with that. It's just like, I don't know, I just wanted like a basement just filled with crap. That's basically it. No gold vault anymore though, unfortunately. When I moved office, the gold didn't auto-sell like I thought it would, and it also didn't come with us, which I wouldn't have expected, because there's no like category 4 gold anywhere in this. It's just like it's metal, fine, it doesn't exist. It's nothing. I thought it would auto-sell, but it also didn't do that. So that's a little unfortunate, but we can acquire more. It's not a huge deal. We basically print money at this point. Going up then. Zoop. Oh, you may have noticed also, I don't have connected basements. I've got these individual buildings, actually individual buildings, just to make surveillance a little bit easier. So there's that. But going up though, our first little kind of office-y area. We got the office for Krug and Rogue. Some of the room painting and carpeting and all that is due to change. I'm not fully 100% content also with the outside of the building. It's not really exactly what I'm after. We'll just kind of adjust it as time goes on, I think, though. Get stuff a little more in order. But more espresso machines, a little waiting area with a little vending machine, just, you know, the usual. Plenty of shelf space for awards, like tons of awards. I still have to give out awards, figure out who's got what, but there's a lot of space there for awards. Also, this wall's got a little more space. If you need even more than that, then we'll have to see about making something custom for you, because, hoo boy, you're just too successful. At that point, you may as well just have your own building with your own workforce, to be honest. Jeez. The canteen. Just the one table. I'm not sure if one table is enough or not. I think so. I think so. I think it always had been. I do have a little more room for some more employees. I think I also only ever had one cook going at a time, which I need to still hire cooks, I think. I forgot to do that. But we can have 2 cooks going at the same time to keep this table full, so I'm not too concerned about it. Up again. Zoop. The designers. There's a lot more of them nowadays. We need to hire some. There's room for 11 designers, which is enough for the audio, I think. Yeah, need 8 level 3 audio designers. Networking, I need 8 level 3 network designers. 3D, I need 10 level 3 3D designers. 2D, we're too short on. Well, TOO too short. Or we're one short. We're missing one, okay? Hardware. We could technically do, but none of us have hardware, and the patent royalty is terrible for it anyway, so it's kind of whatever. And system we're too short on. 2 short. Also, like 2, like the number 2. We're missing 2. You get it? Okay. 3D audio and network, though, we can generally manage. I think I've already got the workforce to handle 3D. It's a little bit tough because I'm still missing people to hire, so we'll see what we can manage, but that's the idea with that. Just room to expand a little bit. Generally, I don't really have anything to do with this many designers. We're going to be ripping through iterations of stuff so fast. It's going to be a little bit frightening, I think we may have to also then hire on some programmers, get like 22 or 23 programmers in total then, which I need to get a bigger office for them. There's only, I think, a dozen of them. 3 more offices here, though. We got one for Butters, one for Kieran II, and then one spare, because there's a couple people like MD Core and Mango, who I think could have an office and once had an office, but they're very old, should retire, and we're just kind of gently pushing them out the door and encouraging them, you know, maybe this ain't for you anymore. Maybe you'll like spend some time with, you know, your cat or whatever. So it's just an empty office for whatever. And then, there's the espresso machine tucked away there. Most of them have an espresso machine outside. It is a little bit louder coming through the wall, but it's not so big of a deal. If I were to have this espresso machine like right next to the wall, you would see it start to penetrate through a bit. You get a little bit of bleed through walls. Espresso machine, the roof AC, especially if you've got like a little closet for the roof AC. Oof. Yeah, that's tough to work around. That thing needs like its own separate office. Up again. To the programmers. It's a little more free flowing here so they can converse a bit better. But though there's only room for 11, could technically have 12, but this chair was like really difficult to get into. It's really awkward because you'd have to like go around the entire table and all that. That's too much. But if needed, we can scoot this a little bit, maybe turn this whole thing a little bit, get in another computer. It's possible, but aside from that, there's not a whole lot of room for much more in there. A dozen programmers is looking to be about all we can manage. Their espresso machine outside as usual, a little seating area with another espresso machine, and the art department of the 4 people. They could have a 5th or a 6th art person, but then the game starts to complain that there's too many computers in the room, and usually when it does that, it quite means it. And very distracting for employees. Our effectiveness is going to go way down, which technically for art isn't a huge deal because we're not doing anything like super majorly, hugely art focused. So it's a little bit whatever, but I'd like to still try to maintain like, you know, the 200-300% that we've got. It's quite nice. The only reason I'd be wanting a 5th or a 6th artist anyway is just for like the feature implementation so that we have like a 3-star 2D to help out with that because the other 3-star 2D guy is like on vacation or whatever. That's about it. As far as that goes, we could even see about getting some of these programmers that I've got. We could train them up a little bit in art and do like what we did with the support office where they just secondary do some art. Could also do that. It's a possibility. Up once more, we have 4 bathrooms up here. Could be more office room if needed, but I wasn't sure how we're doing for the bathrooms. My bathroom to employee ratio is awkward. I'm not too sure what I'm doing with it. Speaking of not sure what I'm doing with it, it's a room that's still under construction because I'm not sure what to do with this thing. It's here and I'd like to use it. I thought maybe either a second programmer office or we move art up there to get more artists in. And then maybe they could be like parallel with a nice office or something like that for somebody. And then artists live there, and then this turns into something. I don't know. We could squeeze in 4 more programmers into there, I guess. I don't know. It'll probably turn into another programmer office, though, because again, I don't think we really need the artists. But for now, it's just under construction. Stuff is just kind of thrown and spewed around. A lot of them move into the basement. Really taking advantage of the free place feature of the game. Big fan of free place in games. And then the roof, where we've got the utilities, the rooftop AC, and the heat pump, which are currently only about half capacity for this massive building because, again, we're not sharing buildings. So this works out quite okay for also temperature, not only security. And then this, which technically you can't have rooms within rooms, but I've been a bit cheeky, and if you're closely looking, you can see some of the Z-plane fighting going on. Well, this is just reflection. I think it's Z-plane fighting. But it's technically a bunch of like smaller... There's a dividing line. Technically just smaller little outdoor areas that meet in the corners. So it's not actually a room within a room. Not technically. That's that though. And then the diagonals are just covered in gates. That's it. That's it. It's not a huge secret, but man, it looks nice and it accomplishes the kind of room within a room that you would like to have. That's aight. That's okay. That's it. I could go higher. We could go a lot higher. This is only... The rooftop is on the 5th floor. We could go up to 10. I don't know what I'm doing with 10 floors of building. NIST Corp is also, I think, only 7 or 8. And, like, that's... that's pushing it. That's like a separate floor for each team, and also accountants have their own floor, and man, I don't know. You gotta try real hard for that. That's us. That's the core building. Across the street is the support office. They ride the bike to work. We ride the bike to work. We've got showers. They've also got showers. Very usual, similar deal. Nothing much there. Bit of a support beam just to kind of exist. And the sort of office itself, which... canteen. Nothing too wild. Downstairs into their basement, they've got their own surveillance. They've got their own server for whatever. This is the other server that I had built that I was like, I'm not sure what to do with it, but we've got it. And this is that. It's just there. It's just the support server. For support, in case I need it. It makes sense to me. They got tiny little bathrooms if needed. A bit of espresso. Upstairs, this is the marketers. Marketer's day, marketer night. They go here. They've got inboxes, except this one who's got a very fun phone, and these who have normal phones. I think when I moved here, I took everything that we had and put it into inventory. That didn't grab the gold bars. That's why I thought maybe they auto-sell. But I think it also remembered like the styles of furniture when put it in the inventory, which is kind of wild to me that it actually has it like in memory. Like these 6 desk lamps are like actually like indexed as 6 separate desk lamps with their own information tied to them, which is crazy to me. I would have thought that if it goes into the inventory, it just like goes back to the default appearance. But hey, if appearance data is not that much, I mean, heck, may as well, I suppose. Kind of a neat thing. The inbox isn't as good as the phone for marketers and support generally, but it is a lot quieter. So since they're sort of sharing a bit of an open space there, I've had to do something. If it gets really bad, you can also get headphones, but that creates a lot of social isolation, which for my generally extrovert company isn't really a great thing. But if you have a lot of introverts, you may as well. They've got a sort of a sky bridge sort of hallway heading into the updater's office. That's the marketers. This is the updaters, the support. These are the people who are taking in the tickets. They've also just got inboxes instead of phones, with their own little kind of a waiting break area there on the side. And upstairs, the programmers / artists, and also the team leader, the boss. It's, I think, 1 chair short for now. Whoever shows up first to work gets to decide if they feel like actually working or not, I suppose. Incentive to show up on time, I guess. Because, yeah, I've only got, like, what, 9? I've got 8, but I've got 9 employees. So, I don't know. It's whatever. Again, a lot of the rooms have the same general visual appearance with the floor and walls and all that. It's just like, I kind of just went with just the default like office templates that were there because, and it works well enough that I'm not too fussed with it, but maybe later on I'd change it. And then we got another staff building for their roof AC. And as you may have seen, the gas boiler down here, instead of a heat pump, works just the same. We just have to buy gas, which happens automatically. It's just another expense that gets thrown into the documents. Ugh, it's whatever. I'm not bothered by it. Here, we've got the distribution warehouse, which is a lot smaller than it used to be. But that's okay. I don't really plan on taking printing contracts, and we're going to see about doing a little more digital distribution anyway, so there's going to be a little bit of a wind down with the whole printing thing. It was recommended that I stop printing entirely of my stuff and only digitally sell stuff, but by doing that, your market share is going to be so awful. You're going to have like a dozen terrible releases because only 8 people in the world who are using your platform are capable of buying. It's actually closer to like the 10 million or so, but considering the pool of people in the game as a significant figure larger than that, at like 160 million or something, kind of shooting yourself in the foot with that bigly. And that money that you could have gotten could have just been gotten rather than had to have made that up through digital distribution share, if that makes sense. It's like all the stuff that you can do to increase your digital distribution portfolio with the exclusivity deals and not printing physical copies yourself and all that. That's money that you could have just had by doing it normally without any drama. And because you've done that, now you got to make it up through the digital distribution, which I'm not sure. I'm not too convinced. I think it's easier just to leave it at the default 5% and let it climb naturally. Their security cameras are here, by the way. A little bit awkward because, you know, we generally have coverage though. Like that's just going across the front, and you're kind of following the sort of right of the door there, so so the burglars can get to like here before anything happens. That's all right. And their security was tucked away, camouflaged at the front door itself. It's a little bit strange having a security computer thingy for a single camera. This may as well have just been the desk or nothing at all, but with nothing at all, they might be watching like this door or something. I don't know. It's whatever. That's that though. Tons of printers, way more printers than I really need for this belt, but again, it's kind of whatever. I'm not too fussed with it. Whatever. And then the deliveries all in the parking there. Yeah, it's all deliveries. Here we have the accountants. They get their own little building kind of off in the middle of nowhere. However, because they don't have a shower, they get their own parking. This whole thing used to be like a big parking lot of land. I bought it up and I just like shaved off half of it because I don't need that much. And I don't need staff parking way over here to try to walk across the world to get to their office. I'm hoping they don't do that, but they very well may. I can't lock down parking lots to specific teams, and I trust they're smart enough to just not do that. I don't think it'll be a problem. Their camera watching the front gate there. They can't really cut across to get to the door with that camera there. Their security camera is technically theirs. So that works out because this is technically the same building. They get their own bathroom. They, however, do not have a heat pump or anything. So we've got a little small heater for the bathroom with a ceiling fan jammed in there. Don't think about it. Pretend it's smaller than that. This room's got a room AC with an electric radiator. A bit more expensive cost-wise, but honestly, at this point of the game, when you've got millions, you're not really caring about utility bills anymore. So, as with most things, I'm kind of fine with it. It's whatever to me. But that's that. That's still the same amount of accounts that I had before. Could kind of squeeze in another desk here if I wanted a 6th one, but honestly, what we've got now seems to be working quite okay, so I'm going to leave it be. I suspect that the tax savings that we can get eventually hits a bit of a soft cap. I don't know. At this point, I kind of wonder, like, how many accountants can I get away with? Like, if I hired literally 1,000 accountants and I just have them doing tax savings, are we going to be saving, like, all of our money in taxes? Like, never pay taxes? Ever? I don't know. I'm not sure. The 6th one could probably pay for itself, but I don't really want to find out. And that's it. That's it, that's all. This is the new office. It's not as pretty as their buildings and stuff. I know, but you know, I'll change the outside at some point and decorate some of the rooms a little bit, and hey, we're getting there with it. I mean, this will probably coast us until what I consider to be the end of the game, which I'm still not too sure when we like call this and finish it off. I'm not really sure what my end game goal is right now. It's sort of the thing with Software Inc. is like, what is the end goal? What are you working towards? You know, what do you want to do? What needs to be done? Because to some extent, you get like one successful release and make like your first few $100,000. You can move into a big office and get a bunch of employees, and like you've kind of already made it then at that point. Did I hire cooks? I did not hire cooks. Let me hire cooks quick. I got the rooms all sorted though, I think I mentioned that. A bunch of maintenance are just kind of free-flowing, bunch of IT free-flowing. They're on there 24/7 there. That's alright. If we get a lot more space, I might have to do room groups because the maintenance could be chilling across the map and have to walk all the way across to fix somebody's computer after they forgot that it's F. We'll see how it goes. And then one courier every hour. Again, we're not doing as much printing as before. I also kind of wanted to see about doing the helipad thing, which I might still do. Undecided.